I'm really excited about doing this. This is something I'm passionate about. And I've been investing for a little while now. My company is called Chamberlain Holdings. I've been investing part-time by accident since 2001. I was working for a company in Kansas City that transferred me out to California. We didn't want to sell our house because we thought we'd be coming back, so we rented it out. And I learned the hard way the headaches and hassles involved with being a landlord. It was extremely stressful because at least once a week I'd get a call about something that needed fixing. Even though we had a property management company, I just dreaded any call from the area code 913 because it meant it was my property manager and there was something wrong. Eventually sold that house to the tenant and swore I'd never do that again. But I was reading a book, I'll get to this in a minute, by a guy named Robert Sheeman. It was a book called Secrets of a Millionaire Landlord. Really good book, and he had a chapter in there about lease options, and he said, in lease options, you can make the tenants responsible for maintenance and repairs. And that really piqued my interest. And I said, this is for me, I think I can make this work. So I started doing a little research, and I started an LLC in 2006. I'm an accredited member of the Better Business Bureau. Not a big deal, anybody can become a member, but just that alone helps a lot in your seller presentations. And I've had over something like 300 last year, 300 hits to the DVD questioning who I am and all of that. I still have a full-time job. I work for a large electrical contractor. I'm a scheduler, and we're working on a large power plant for Ameren. I like my job. I like it a lot. I want to do investing full-time eventually. Right now I'm happy where I'm at. A little stressed because I'm so busy. I have 3 kids, 5, 3, 2 boys, and an 11-month-old girl. We live in O'Fallon, Missouri. These are my websites. Now, by the way, my email will be coming up later, and if you want to copy these slides, send me an email and say slides in the subject or something, and I'll just email these back to you. So don't worry too much about taking notes. I'm going to have a lot of links to websites. Don't worry about copying them down, because I'm going to email this to you if you send me an email. Okay? But my websites, Rest Easy Home Solutions is where I advertise We Buy Houses. Buy Home St. Louis is where I sell my lease option owner finance homes. And St. Louis Wholesale Homes is where I sell my wholesale properties. You noticed I tried to put St. Louis in the website address. I did that for Google search optimization. And if you were to Google We Buy Houses St. Louis, I'm proud to admit I'm on the top 2 of the non-sponsored sites. And you know how I learned that stuff? You get all those emails every day from these gurus that are saying, join our free teleseminar. Every once in a while I'll join those things and just to listen, and I get great tips. It's always really shallow because they want you to buy something, but you get great tips on those calls sometimes. And just by doing some of the things they talked about, when you Google things, I'm pretty much always on the top. So what I'm going to discuss today is a simple introduction to lease options and owner financing. Something I stumbled upon a few months ago, I call it lease option wholesale. Some people call it cooperative assignments, teamwork assignments. I'm going to talk about marketing, how important it is when you're buying and selling homes, how you can earn some extra monthly cash flow doing lease option wholesaling through promissory notes. And I'm going to talk about first-time home buyer tax credits for down payment, which is a fascinating thing I've just discovered recently. And I've been talking to my attorneys, one attorney and my accountant, and title companies about this, and not a lot of people know about it yet. It's pretty exciting. And I'm going to give some miscellaneous tips and advice. I have a lot of slides to go through, so if you have an important question, you can raise your hand, but otherwise just wait till the end and I'll try to get some questions. If I say something that's unclear, if I'm not making sense, or I'm having hallucinations, then you can raise your hand and say, what's that about? So, how I got started in real estate, I already said I had rental property, lots of headaches. Wendy Patton, I read her book. It's not the Rent to Sell. She just came out with this book, Rent to Sell. It's another book called Lease Options and Subject To. It's a great book. I bought it used for $14, and it was worth every penny of a $2,000 seminar on lease options. It's a great book by Wendy Patton. Her newest book is written more kind of geared towards realtors and people who want to use a realtor to lease option their home. But it's a good book, Rent to Sell. When I first got started, I was so excited. This is when it was easy to get mortgages. I bought about 9 homes in 12 months. At the time, I was advertising, you pick the home, we'll buy it for you. If the tenant buyer had a large enough deposit, I would buy them the house, lease option it back to them with a goal of selling it in a couple of years to them. But that was at the height of the market. So all 9 of those homes are worth what I bought them for, what they're worth today or less. So they're long-term rental properties right now. I mean, if the tenant buyer buys it, that's great. Of those 9, I've had to evict probably 2 or 3 tenant buyers. And I did sell one to a tenant buyer in 1 year. Great story. I was just the other day at one of my houses that we used to live in, and I lease optioned it out. And I was so shocked. It's one of those good stories you never hear about too much in real estate investing. The tenant buyers had the house nicer than it was when we lived there. They painted it and decorated it. The yard was great. They had 2 big dogs, and I still didn't see any scratches in the wood floor. The yard is in great shape. They're paying $200 a month in rent more than their neighbors are. And this is a house in Winghaven in O'Fallon. And they're going to be buying the house in probably 6 to 10 months. The reason why this guy bought the house and leased optioned was because, I won't go into all the details, but he had a big tax lien. Makes a ton of money, but he just couldn't get a mortgage. In fact, he could hardly even get a rental property because this big tax lien was on his credit. He's almost paid it off now, and he's very interested in buying the home. He's one of my best success stories I've had, even though he hasn't bought the house yet.